Hi guys, KHCloud here with my Honeymoon Review for Destiny 2. Now I played this a while ago. I'm actually pretty high up in the game, but again, this is just the introduction, just the first couple of hours. One of the things that becomes immediately apparent when you're playing Destiny 2 is how much the sound is improved. The sound effects and the music are just way better than what they were in Destiny 1. Maybe not the music's not way better, but it's better, and the sound effects are noticeably better. I was playing some Destiny 1 before getting into the Destiny 2 beta, and I mentioned that before in the Destiny 2 beta. It's one of those things that's, immediately apparent and recognizable. One of the things I'm kind of surprised to see is a change from the beta, and I don't think it's a good change, is the first mission, you feel kind of underpowered. And I kind of wish that they didn't do that. I wish that they kept you feeling as powerful as you felt in the beta, because then that contrast for when you lose all that power and you have to regain your light, regain your ability to revive and all that kind of stuff, that becomes more dramatic. But by having you already kind of weak at the start, then you don't lose that much, so it doesn't feel as dramatic. It also would have given you one of those targets that's right out there to go for it. You already know what it is and you know where you're trying to get. I really liked the vision quest aspect of I guess it's still technically part of the first mission, but I would really consider it the second mission, where you're walking through all unpowered and it kind of shows you these flashes of Falcon going through all the different areas where you're going to be going on your way to meet Hawthorne. I thought that was actually really interesting. I like the changes that they made in showing you the villains, giving the villains some character. I do find it kind of weird that they just speak English, but I understand why. It makes it narratively easier to tell. But when you have the speaker there who speaks English, and then these two guys who are speaking English at the same time, it's kind of weird. It's like they don't have their own language. It would have been cool to see that, but I also understand, time constraints and stuff like that. And while there is no real reason to show you the villains, this isn't like a great, magnificent story. It's just a story that is solid, which is way more than we got in Destiny 1. I do feel like the story does a decent job of pulling you in that first hour, showing you that character Hawthorne. It gives you an NPC at which you can kind of pretty quickly identify her character, which is a really nice thing. And that kind of carries on to the rest of the game. They show a good amount of things to do when you're in these new open world segments, which are, a big change from Destiny 1. In Destiny 1, basically, you went to a story, a strike, a raid, or a PvP map. That was basically it. You had the patrol areas too, but there was really nothing to do in the patrol areas. Now all of that stuff is kind of connected in through the new patrol type areas. You have adventures to do there as well. You have world quests to do there as well. There's plenty of stuff to do. And they kind of show that to you right off the bat. Another thing is, if you go and do what I did in my playthrough, which is then go into the Crucible matches, it becomes immediately apparent to you the changes they made in the Crucible. For those who never played Destiny 1, in Destiny 1, shotguns were in your secondary slot, which meant you had a lot of ammo for them, and a lot of PvP was people running around and just shotgunning people, or sniping people from afar, and that was most of it, which is not very fun and not very competitive. I feel like this was a necessary change in Destiny 2. I feel it's one of the reasons why it's a separate game and not an X-Pack, is because they moved the shotgun and the sniper rifle to the power ammo slot, which is also where rocket launchers and grenade launchers and those kind of things lie. And by doing so, you only get that ammo once or twice a map. If you're lucky, really, as an individual, you're probably only going to get it once. And unless you're sitting around waiting for it, then you might get it twice. But still, that leaves you really limited on what you can do with that. You can't just run around and shotgun people like you could in Destiny 1. So that's a huge and much appreciated change. It makes the Crucible far more competitive. But overall, I really enjoyed those first couple of hours in the game. I've had my playthrough up for a while. I've been playing the game, since then for the past couple of weeks. I definitely think it is worth getting if you're into first-person shooters, especially if you want something to play that's going to give you something to play week after week after week without having to shell out too much extra cash. I feel like that's kind of where it fits kind of perfectly. It'll give you, at the very least, I'd say you'd be satisfied with the first 60 to 80 hours, which is, what more can you really ask for from a $60 game? Especially nowadays when some of them are 10 to 12 hours worth of content. Alright guys, well that's it for this review. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.